Welcome back here again. We are continuing where we left off last week. Of course, if you should end up enjoying this video, then don't forget to smash the like button. That really does help us out. And of course, if you're new around here, you're always welcome to hit subscribe. Alright, so we signed a bunch of airlines. Now we want to add them to our flight scheduler or flight planner. I will assign a few gates specifically to EasyJet, and that's just because I would like to have a larger presence of EasyJet, and if I assign them to specific gates, it's just it should be much faster for me just to fill up these gates or these stands than with EasyJet flights as soon as they are offered. Try not to add too many, but a few of them I would like, obviously mainly over, if not entirely over, at Terminal 2, because that would be where they're operating from in real life as well. Any other airlines so far, I'm not specifically assigning to any terminal, but we might want to do that at some point. I think maybe we would take a Lufthansa gate at Terminal 1 at some point, but I don't think at the moment. Let me just also have one EasyJet gate right at Terminal 2, which is not a remote stand. Let's just take this one for EasyJet Europe. All right. Yeah, so we have many airlines now. Quite a few. Flybe, they've gone now. Well, anyway, we still have them here, but I guess we will unassign them at some point. So let's first go over here to Tuesday, and then let's first get a few flights in for the German Air Force, also known as Luftwaffe. Yeah, so we can have our government's terminal up and running again, which we also would like to finish up at some point. But again, here I'm waiting for the latest update to the game, or the next update to the game, I should rather say, because obviously a lounge over there would make total sense for a VIP terminal, and that could then also be specifically assigned for the Luftwaffe, so that would make total sense. So yeah, I guess we won't be working over there until then. Let's see, we have Saudia now. They do technically also offer wide-body aircraft, but I think we need to get a few aircraft of them into the airport first before we get the offer for the wide-body aircraft. So that's alright. I think right now, yeah, it's only A320s and 21s. Let's see what else we have. Oh yeah, MIA, Middle Eastern Airlines. They do also offer wide-body aircraft, but also here I think we need to have a few aircraft coming in before we get them, so we can build up the relationship with them. Azerbaijan, yeah, they already have, because we already had a few aircraft coming in from them. So they have the A340, which I don't think we have had at our airport before, so that's really awesome. So that will be a first. Looking forward to that. Yeah, and then they have those we already had at some point, so, but doesn't matter. Anyway, we'd like to get them in as much as possible. So we have a good mix of single aisle and wide body. Well, it will always be majority single aisle here, but still, we want to have some wide-body aircraft coming in when we can. I think Aeroflot, I think this mod also includes wide-body aircraft, but as we, I don't think we've had any flights coming in from them so far, so also here, obviously, it will take some time before we see that. Yeah, right now our airport looks quite abandoned when it comes to flights. We want to change that. So let's quickly go through. Let's see, can we find any Lufthansa flights? One we have at the moment, not too many, but I'm sure they will load in at some point, and then we can add more. What else? Aegean, and I'm not quite sure, they might already have the new livery in the game, or it might be a different mod, because I might have two Aegean mods now, because I definitely did subscribe to one recently, and some of the images there looked like it would be the new livery, but I can't promise if that is the mod that we have here. But maybe we will be lucky and see the new Aegean livery in this episode, who knows. Alright, so Aer Lingus, and they are definitely still in the old all green livery. I don't think this mod has the new livery yet, and I don't think there is a livery, or livery. I don't think there's a mod with the new livery yet, but I would imagine this to come at some point as well. All right, Aeroflot, the Russian flag carrier. Let's get some flights in there. I will try to at least have 3 flights a day for these airlines. So the morning, midday, and evening. And then we will see how much space there's left and then add more flights into them. Hopefully we will get through all airlines, but we might actually run out of space. So that could warrant a few more remote stands at some point. We will see. So Air Europa from Spain, obviously rumored to be taken over by IAG. I don't think it has been confirmed yet. Obviously that would also need to be approved by authorities, which could be a little bit tricky because I guess IAG would become quite, well, I think it would be a monopoly on the Spanish market, at least, if Iberia and Air Europa are the same company. Anyway, that's a whole different topic, obviously. But let's see what we can do here. Austrian, so 3 flights of those, and trying to add them to different stands, just so we have a nice mix around the airport, depending on what time of the day we are looking at it. But yeah, let's speed up this process a little bit. We don't need to go through every single airline here. So while we're doing this in the background, obviously what I would like to achieve in this episode is I want to have the airport buzzing. I want to push it a little bit to see what it can cope with. Obviously getting flights in at Terminal 2. That's also very important now that we have more or less finished constructions over there. And then I would also like to work a little bit on the taxiways, because I have been complaining that taxiways are unmanageable in the way that you can't really tell planes how to use them. And it turns out I'm wrong. There was a comment saying that I was wrong, but then never explained how I was wrong. That was a bit frustrating, maybe. But then there was someone who said, you can just right click on the center line and then you can say what way aircrafts are allowed to go. Perfect. So we will be doing that, trying to see if we can work out a system so that aircraft start using our taxiways a little bit more intelligent, because right now it's just a little bit too chaotic. At least when we have a lot of aircraft coming in, which we will have here, because obviously we are really pumping the flight plan here with flights. We are actually at the point where we can't really assign all the flights that we are offered. And hold on, what is this? An A340 of Azerbaijan, but in Scandinavian colors? Okay, that's a bit strange. Why is that? I mean, awesome, we get to see the A340 of Scandinavian Airlines at our airport, but why? Why would that be? Because it was an Azerbaijan flight. Maybe they chartered it. Maybe we have a new feature in our game that we've never heard about. Maybe Azerbaijan chartered an A340 of SAS. Okay, that's interesting. I hope this is not a thing with all the mods that they're just now randomly picking liveries. I mean, we will see very shortly, but hopefully that is not the case. Anyway, what was I talking about? Ah, yeah, center lines and comments. Obviously, as always, if you have any suggestions, any feedback, you're always welcome to leave them in the comment section below. I do read all comments and try to respond to as many as possible. If you see me doing something and you say, why is he doing it like this? You can do it much easier in a different way. Then, hey, let me know. Share your knowledge. It's not just that you're sharing it with me, but you're sharing it with the community, because I know there are many other people playing this game, and hey, we can all profit from each other. That's at least how I think about it. Anyway, yeah, but the point was that we have so many airlines now that we actually are unable to assign all the flights that we are offered. Obviously, you can still suggest airlines that we could add, but I will probably start slowing down a little bit with adding more airlines, at least for the time being, just because, yeah, as you can see, we are getting a bit congested when it comes to that. There is kind of a limit as to how much we can load into these airports. But still, if you have a specific suggestion, then feel free to let me know. While we're admiring this A340 of Azerbaijan Airlines in their new Scandinavian Airlines livery. Is that a thing? I hope not. I hope this isn't like something that affects all other airlines. That would be very strange. No, I mean, they look alright. I mean, okay, I haven't checked who they are, but yeah. Honestly speaking, how could that even happen? How could that even happen with the mod that would grab? Is that the mod that is, or is the game somehow misinterpreting something? That is, I don't know enough about this stuff, so I have no idea. Here the next Azerbaijan comes in, which looks like a lot. It's a Dreamliner, clearly in the lot livery, but it is an Azerbaijan Airlines flight. I guess Azerbaijan Airlines just has issues with their fleet today, so they have rented a lot of aircraft from other airlines so they can fulfill their flights. We should definitely encourage them to do so. I'm just fascinated. I have not seen that behavior in the game before. That's a new one for me. Anyway, obviously we have a lot of flights coming in, and I'm just realizing that I haven't purchased all the GSE that we need to run Terminal 2. So we quickly need to buy that stuff. Hopefully it will arrive before the first aircraft come in. Otherwise, I think we might end up having a little bit of a chaos, because we definitely do not have enough ground service equipment at the moment to handle all these flights coming in. Yeah, that's a little bit of an oversight. Note to myself, make sure you have all the GSE before you add the flights. Okay, it's not the first time I'm doing this. I'm doing this far too often. Anyway, all this new GSE obviously needs a place to stay when it's not needed, so we will have a bunch of vehicle depots over here. I think off camera I will start assigning all this new GSE to these vehicle depots, as I've done with the other terminals, but I don't see the point in doing this now here on camera to bore you out of your mind. But anyway, we are waiting now for the first flights to come in any moment now to Terminal 2, which will be the premier. By the way, we have a Saudi Air now offering a wide-body aircraft, so let's just quickly check if others have. No. Alright, anyway, we will slowly have more wide-body offerings coming in, so that's good news. And we have our first aircrafts coming in here at Terminal 2, so that's awesome. That's really good. Things arriving here. GSE. Although, as always, there are not many passengers at the gates, and we have another wide-body which is just in the wrong livery. But okay, everything else seems to be fine. I think it's just Azerbaijan today spazzing out a bit for whatever reason. A lovely Saudi 777, looking good. Can't really explain why Azerbaijan would do that and why it would be the only airline affected by this, but okay. We have a lot of aircrafts right now saying that they are kind of delayed. I think we are struggling a little bit with the GSE, and I think that's just because I bought it a bit too late. We also have the issue again with the check-in, not check-in, with the security counter saying that they're not manned, even though they are manned. Don't know what was going on with that. I've had that for quite some time now. And not enough people at the gates, which is a bit worrying. Might just be an issue here with the first wave. Obviously, as I can see, we definitely need more staff. We have much more activities now, so now we definitely need more people. So let's assign a bunch of those. And let's, I guess, just send them away for now. This is also Azerbaijan, but in the wrong livery. At least we get to see some liveries that we haven't seen before. Although I would prefer them to be in modded liveries and not in the in-game liveries. And this looks like a massive clusterfuck. But okay, well, they solved themselves. That's okay. Yeah, probably 4 de-icing pads, 4 single aisle isn't enough. But then again, I think they can also use the wide bodies. de-icing pads, I think. I don't remember. Did we see that in a previous episode, perhaps? I might have to look back to see if they do that or not. Anyway, maybe we can find some space for some more de-icing pads somewhere here at the airport. We don't have much space left, really, so expanding will be difficult. But let's get more staff in. We need janitors, we need ramp agents, we need probably security staff, because technically the game tells me all the time that they have these security checks unmanned, even though they are. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, let's get a few shops in here as well as at Terminal 1. Again, lots of space over here that is unassigned, and that's because I'm waiting for the next update to add lounges at Terminal 1. I definitely want lounges. And I can see we have a lovely A340, which looks like it's Finnair, which is not. It's Azerbaijan. But okay, anyway, we get to see that we've had a few more EasyJet offers now, which is great, because we're definitely missing those. They took a bit of time to load into the game today. Can also quickly assign them here to other stands which are not specifically EasyJet assigned. Yeah, I mean, it does look quite congested, which we knew it would be. But other than that, okay, the aircraft seem to get stuck here on the ground, but I guess, again, it is an issue with GSE. Obviously, it didn't help that I kind of purchased the GSE too late, so that will definitely affect it. Another reason why we will see these aircraft getting stuck here is, of course, also I'm really pushing the airport, and obviously with the schedule we have a lot of flights basically arriving at the same time, but obviously we can only have one aircraft on runway at a time. So many of these aircraft are actually also just coming in late, so obviously they can't leave on time. So that's also one of the reasons why we see so many right now complaining or saying that or asking, should we delay this flight? And of course also because we have so many aircraft going around at the moment, some aircraft might be finished but can't be pushed out yet because they're waiting for others to pass. They will also technically show up as saying, hey, do you want me to delay my departure? So all these things are playing into this, and if we were a bit more generous with spacing out our flight schedule, I think we would reduce a lot of these issues, and we would definitely have to do that in the future. But this is obviously also just a stress test, trying to really force things. This doesn't look right, but I think this is just, again, kind of planes reaching a time limit and just going where they want to go and then overlapping. But they do seem, they do still take quite odd routes, even though I'm kind of saying, I mean, I've tried out here with the runway, taxiway navigation points thingies to say how they should go. They clearly ignored it here, but let's see now that they've changed it. Now they just don't go at all. Oh no, now they do. Okay, if they go like this, I'm happy. That would be okay. Obviously, it's way too many flights. We know that, but yeah, it is a stress. We're really trying here and pushing everything to the max, which is going to give us issues. But that way, we can maybe see some things we won't be able to see otherwise. It's a nice feature, this thing, that you can tell the taxiways or give these instructions on taxiways. I'm not entirely convinced that it completely works with the AI, but I guess it helps. I mean, it can't get any worse than it is without it. So yeah, I guess that's okay. Alright, so we have now really pushed our airport. We are seeing how it is coping with my stupidity of not giving it enough staff and not giving it enough GSE. We're seeing how it is coping with the new instructions on taxiways, and of course just with the sheer mass of flights coming in at the same time. And with all these things really not helping each other out, I think it's alright. It could be much, much worse. So that's a great thing. I'm really happy with the progress we've made so far. Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 pretty much done. I really want to add a few things, but those will be the things that come with the next update. So now I'm really hoping that they will come soon, because what can we do next? I guess we can add a few, or try to see if we can get a few more remote stands in, so we can have a few more airlines coming in, and maybe see if we can add a de-icing pad somewhere. And of course, we have completely ignored the catering sector and the waste sector, so we will have to do that in the next episode for sure, because that will add another layer of things we can have of activities at our airport. Now with that, I really would like to say thank you so much for having watched today's episode. If you have enjoyed the video, then don't forget to smash the like button. That really does help us out. And of course, if you're new around here, why not hit subscribe? With that, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.